Now, workers at Eskom's Kendal power station have downed tools. They say management has not been transparent in the way that they are handling them and labour brokers. There have been delays in payments, and workers say they sometimes go months without being paid.
As you see, all the workers are frustrated as they stand here behind me. I'm also one of them who's not happy, and we're very much concerned about what the company is doing. We are working for labour brokers under Eskom Rotec Industries, but people are not happy, including myself. We are not happy by the way, the behavior of these new companies, because we used to work for the old labour brokers, for example, ITL, Staff Unit and PrimeSafe. But at this present moment, the employer, which is Rotec, just removed those old labour brokers to put 26 new labour brokers. And when we see they are not muscle fit when it comes to financial, because people are having problem, yeah? When it's month end, they don't get paid, and the hours when are not okay. So that's the frustration that's here. And the biggest problem of the people is that they are working, the job that they are working is of a permanent nature. The job is permanent. They are here from day 1 up to day 53 of the year. But now the people they keep on signing people on contract basis, which it doesn't make sense for the people. And the worst scenario that happened now is that Eskom Rotec, with these new 26 labour brokers, they removed all benefits from the employees without telling them or notifying them about the company reduction, which doesn't make sense to us.
All right, let's stay with this developing story. Workers also saying a recent meeting with management has failed to yield any positive results.
We sat with Rotec in 3 weeks' time. We sat with Rotec. We went to Eskom Park to raise our concern. So they respectively came to us, the senior management from Rocheville. Then we sat with them on the table. We explained to them about the conditions that we are working under, and we showed them our frustration, why we are not happy. So it seems as if they are going to solve and resolve these issues. But now the problem is, they told us because they also have people that they report to, they can't take decision right there on the table. So the problem comes when they go back to Rocheville. After the next meeting that was held in Eskom Rotec in Witbank at home base, that meeting we thought maybe some changes or something better for people is going to happen. But that meeting, it was a setback and disappointment to everyone.
All right, let's get to the latest on the story now. Eskom spokesperson Sikonathi Mantshantsha joins us now via our Skype line. Sikonathi, the ugly issue of labour brokers rearing its ugly head again, and workers giving us their accounts of not being paid for months. What does Eskom say?
Michelle, indeed, Eskom is aware of the matters that are being reported by the workers. We have taken the matters to the CCMA, where Eskom seeks to regularize their employment conditions. And indeed, the contracts of which they are complaining have worked their way out of the system. We are in a process, let's repeat this again, at the CCMA, where we are resolving the matters the workers are indeed complaining about.
Sikonathi, does Eskom still use labour brokers?
We do have firms that help supply temporary employees. I guess those are what's called labour brokers. And we are in the process of making sure, as I have stated earlier, that these matters are handled properly and the people are being remunerated and employed properly. The process is running its course in the CCMA, where our partners, the National Union of Mine Workers, is working with Eskom to help resolve the situation.
Yeah. So does that mean that this process you're describing, this process that is underway, does that mean we'll be rid of labour brokers at Eskom? Hopefully that is the aim. Is it the aim?
The aim is to make sure that Eskom and its contractors comply totally with all the relevant legislation.
And what does that include, Sikonathi?
That includes making sure that people are employed through proper labor suppliers that comply fully with in terms of the Labor Relations Act, the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, and these people will be remunerated accordingly. Yes, there are issues now that the workers have brought before Eskom, and as I have said, Eskom is already down the line in terms of regularizing the process. So this is a parallel. The strike action today is in parallel to that. We are working towards resolving the matters as the employees have brought them before us, more so with the recognized trade unions, in particular the National Union of Mine Workers. We have been working together to make sure that we get a proper resolution of all the matters that concern employees at Eskom.
What about the issue around month-long delays in payments? I mean, you and I both know that it's a very difficult thing to miss your salary even for 1 month. We're talking about months long. That's what workers have told us there at Kendal Power Station. What's the response from Eskom? Is that true? Have there been months-long delays in people getting paid?
All of Eskom's brokers, the companies that employ the people you are talking about, get paid after 30 days. So whenever Eskom gets a contractor to get to work, there are guarantees in place that the workers will be paid as and when their salaries are due. Insofar as Eskom is concerned, indeed, every contractor has been paid. There have been no delays. Let's repeat this. When the employer takes on a contract, we make sure that they are adequately resourced in order to pay their employees on the first day. So these are the matters of which I say to you we have taken to the CCMA. We are working through the legal systems to ensure that there will be no such problems. Starting in starting in August, we implemented new contracts that seeks to bring everybody into line and make sure that Eskom and its contractors are fully compliant with the law and that the workers are treated in a humane way.
Sikonathi, forgive me, I'm not a labour consultant, so I don't have intricate knowledge of labour issues. But I feel like, you know, the issues around labour brokers, I mean, you for one have now said that the contractors have been paid, and to your knowledge, they would have paid the employees, and that's the difficulty. One of the difficulties with labour brokers, isn't it? The fact that Eskom doesn't pay these workers directly, they are paid through a third party, if you will. That's what makes it difficult. And the question I'm going to put to you again is Eskom planning to get rid of labour brokers? We know that the issue of labour brokers, especially for workers, is so wide-ranging, not least because so much of their money, I'm not sure what the proportion is, but a portion of what would be their salary is deducted before they actually get paid at the end of the week, at the end of the month, whatever the case may be. So again, I'm asking you, the issue of labour brokers here, which you say is being resolved through the labour processes, is Eskom going to get rid of labour brokers? Can it employ these people directly?
Michelle, the people cannot be employed directly by Eskom because they are employed on projects that have a start date and an end date, just like most construction workers. So in this instance, what we are saying is we are making sure through the CCMA process that the companies that supply the labor, that employ our colleagues at this point, make sure to comply through the labor processes of the Republic of South Africa. They cannot be employed directly as their projects have got start and end dates. So there is no one that is fully employed and permanently employed by Eskom. And there are contracts where people can only work like that.
Yeah. So then the question becomes, I guess, if what workers are saying, that the months have gone by without them being paid by these agencies, does it mean that those agencies will then not be used by Eskom in the future if it does turn out to be true?
If Eskom finds anyone to have broken the law, including not paying the workers who have earned their salaries. Eskom will indeed go through the legal processes again. We cannot prejudge the process. I cannot stand up to you now and say every other contractor will be fired once there is proof of this. There are legal mechanisms to make sure that everybody is treated in a proper way, and Eskom will indeed take the measures to ensure that its workforce, be those that are employed via the contractors and its own workforce, are looked after properly in terms of the law. That is why we are at the CCMA regularizing these matters.
So workers at Eskom's Kendal power station, they've down tools. What does that mean for power generation in the country and the prospect of load shedding?
Eskom has put in measures to minimize disruption to the production of electricity. However, you know, Michelle, this being South Africa, people will find ways to get around situations. So we are doing everything, working hand in hand with the security forces, the South African police in particular, to make sure that we minimize disruption to the production of electricity. At this point, things are looking okay in terms of Eskom producing electricity. However, you do know that in the past we have had incidents where workers blockaded roads and stuff like that to make it difficult. So we do expect that those will materialize today, but we have put in sufficient measures to really make sure that everybody is protected in terms of the protesting people themselves and in terms of those who want to work and the property and assets of Eskom.
All right, thank you for that. Eskom spokesperson Sikonathi Mantshantsha.